Welcome to a short excerpt from Small Business School, the series on PBS stations and the web.
Hi, I'm Hattie Bryant. In this case about Diversified Chemical comes from our television series Small Business School, your video partner for this class. You may already be familiar with Arnold Joseph and George Hill and their commitment to revitalizing urban neighborhoods. But their commitment to ethical business practices actually starts inside the company.
Let's go to Detroit. Arnold Joseph and George Hill opened Diversified Chemical Technologies, Inc. in 1971, and today it is the holding company for 4 subsidiaries: Adhesive Systems, Coat-It, Diversified Chemical Technologies, and Paperworks. Together, the companies employ 200 people, 40 whom are chemists, and they generate $70 million in annual sales. This is George Hill. This is Arnold Joseph.
We put in a total of $4,000 to begin with. This goes back to 1971. We leveraged that with an SBA loan. I think it was $70,000. A loan that we ended up repaying, and that's the way we've always grown. Today we have very substantial lines of credits, but we have very little exposure. And it works. It makes it comfortable for us and for our employees to know that our backs are never against the wall.
Early on, the two committed themselves to revitalizing the urban neighborhood of their childhood. The race riots of the 60s had scarred the city, and thousands moved to the suburbs. George and Arnold purchased and brought life back to abandoned buildings.
And what we found is that it worked. It gave us ready access to workers who could take buses to work. So we found that there was a pool of employable people. We found that we were purchasing real estate that no one else wanted. But at the same point in time, the banks wouldn't mortgage, so we paid cash for it.
We'd always been conservative. So in spite of the fact that we lost that major customer and it scared our bank half to death, we still had a lot of cash flow. We had not done anything other than plow money back into the business and conserve our dollars. So we were able to pay our bills. Therefore, you learn to keep cash.
It became apparent to us that if we wanted to grow the business within the larger scale customers that we had access to, we had to do more than what we were doing.
Adhesive Systems makes the glue that holds together the packages for many products, including Miller Beer.
This particular product that comes off the pelletizer, okay? This is something that flows much, much better in certain kinds of systems. We're always marrying our product to a customer's process.
Okay.
And all the processes are different.
Okay. So what customer's getting these little pellets?
Well, right now, Miller Brewing gets this one.
Miller Brewing. And what will they do with this?
This goes into a system, okay?
Yep.
And it flows beautifully like marbles. And then it goes into a melt process and becomes liquid. And that in turn is applied to packages and
the box.
boxes.
So when I take Miller off the shelf at the grocery store.
If you're strong enough to pick up a 24-pack, okay, it's not going to break because our glue is on it.
That's right. That's
simple as that.
In the years 1981 to 85, George and I went through revolutionary evolution. We demanded both of the business and ourselves to reapproach the way we were conducting ourselves.
Okay.
Prior to that time, we sold based on our personality. We did not sell on the basis of technology. Up till now, whenever we went to industry, we had to put the investment not only into research and development, but also into manufacturing up front. We finally established a base. Industry accepts the fact that we may have some level of sophistication and maturity. So we just received our first contract, a long-term agreement with Vestion that makes use of this new technology for making rubber parts for the heating and air conditioning system on cars. And we were fortunate enough to receive a $6.5 million contract, and now we're putting the plant together.
Here, what we have done is we have incorporated the recycled rubber particles.
Dr. Rajan Idera, who received his PhD in chemistry right here in Detroit, is Vice President of Research and Development and is in charge of the lab.
So we have increased the efficiency of manufacturing tremendously, and by using the recycled material. and the part weight is about 65 to 70 grams.
So it's half the weight?
Half the weight.
Through the ingenuity of Dr. Idera's team, Diversified Chemicals is making a part faster, cheaper, and better. While the old part uses virgin rubber, the new uses recycled. While the old requires 15 minutes to set at super high temperatures, the new sets at room temperature in just 1 minute.
So you hit a home run with this?
Yes, this is all conceived here in this laboratory through the discussion of people. So that's where our open mindedness helps people come up with ideas where we can implement into practice very, very easily.
We are a magnet for talent. And given that we are that magnet, we are the recipients of the best that they have to offer. Traditionally, immigrants coming to this country had a tremendous work ethic and mindset. That's what they bring to us.
Even though you have to make profits and you have to be businessmen, it doesn't dismiss the fact that you can have moral values, you can have ethics, and you can have the desire to renovate and to be an uplifting spirit within an area. What we have done on a consistent basis is to take over literally abandoned properties and bring them back to life. We don't sell them. We continue to use them. They become an economical method of establishing a business that then creates employment, technology, and growth. And really, it's who we are and what we want to become. It's what we want to share with others, because if we can do it in our own small way, others can do it in a much bigger way.
So we started out with an organizational structure that says, okay, we've been the focal point, we're shifting that focal point and that leadership and some of the P&L responsibility, the profit loss responsibility, to you. We're saying to you, our commitment is to teach you what we know. Therefore, there's a new organizational structure in which every one of our businesses is led by a different person. Call it business unit manager. Call it a vice president or a general manager, but we call it a business unit manager.
Cheryl Kern is the business unit manager for Paperworks.
I'm glad to be here now because we're going to be able to shine, for lack of a better word, and to really show this business unit manager's concept is really going to allow us to run the entire operation, which in the past we really weren't empowered to do, and we're really going to be able to stand on our own to either succeed or to fail, with those guys still on the side, giving us a lot of guidance, but still we can run our own show.
To achieve her growth goals, Cheryl is working closely with the director of the IT department, Dennis Mason.
I'm the MIS manager here at Diversified Chemical. The exciting part about being at this particular company is the opportunity to take a small company, minority business supplier, and take them to the next level of being e-commerce ready.
What we have done is we have chosen to build not only incentives into our system that reward creativity, but we have taken what we consider to be some of the best people from all over the world who may not conform to what present America defines to be an American, and given them a place to work that allows them to be creative, that allows them to be respected. We don't ask them to be anybody else but who they are. This place gives you an opportunity to grow. We send folk to school. It doesn't matter whether they're in manufacturing or they're in accounting or they're in our laboratories. They get an opportunity to capture what is best about America.
It's as if the world converges in this special place. Carol from mainland China, Rajan and Bijou from India, Alex from Latvia, Ruben from Ghana.
I had my master's in economic aspects of polymer chemistry. It's a blend of chemistry and business administration.
And you got that degree here?
Yes, from this company. Actually, the company paid for my tuition.
Oh, really?
And textbooks also. One day I was working in the midnight shift, and the vice president of the company, Mr. Arnold Yosef, called up and he said, "Have you thought about having your master's?" I said, "Yeah, but I have to find a way to pay for it." He says, "How determined are you to get your master's?" And I told him, "Very." And he says, Don't worry about the cost. It's done.
It's always right to talk about making the kind of profits to give you and your family a sense of security and a sense of well-being. Okay? Nothing wrong with it. That's American capitalism. But I think if you start focusing on that, then you miss some of the real fun and the real joy of being in business. You miss part of the creative process. I'm not an artist or a musician, but creating wealth in the community and creating jobs, and not wealth for Arnold and I, but wealth in the community, okay? And creating jobs is something that we're capable of doing. We're able to sell ideas to people that says, okay, we're going to give you business, and out of that comes a lot of jobs and even more to come. So I think that if you are in a position to build something, and if you enjoy that, okay, the money will come. It's not about the dollars. It's really about the building process and the achievement process.
There's much more on television and on the web at smallbusinessschool.org.